Neighborhood Spider-Man. What does that mean? Someone out there mentioned that the reason the Avengers are like cool, but it's not the people who are out there helping the little guy, right? You have these superhero people who can fly into space, I don't know, use gamma radiation as a literal meat shield, ying, and a man that can survive ice, right? All impressive feats to boot. But there's something about Spider-Man. I forgot the things at the door. Spider-Man, the original, not the original, but the original guy with the problem. I remember growing up and not really understanding how these growing up and not really understanding how these pictures fit together. But at the point that I was born, there was already a wave of comic fans who were busy compiling and noting everything that made Spider-Man awesome. Very simply put, I remember there is one book that just kind of reflects through all his power sets and just how he got to this point. So my initial like acknowledgement of what a Spider-Man should be came from this book. OG original stuff, and it was a little bit disappointing because at that time we had already adventured into the next stage of Marvel Comics, which would be the Ultimate Universe. And if you know the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, you understand how things got more intense. There's a reason he's like this. But there was something that was always respected and admired, and even though that kid had the dorkiest ass glasses, it felt like Peter Parker. And it only took us like 20 years, about 2 decades, maybe 3. But ladies and gentlemen, we got him back. It's true. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The same team who has been working on that 3D Marvel animation for X-Men, was it 98, 97? That's the year after I was born. Yep. And seeing them start from here or pick this up or really just start something fresh in a way that's going to be open to interpretation, open to creativity, and very new, very, very current, while also retaining that simplicity of the old school, which, damn, eventually, I'm just spitballing here, but eventually, I believe we will get Spider-Man 97, a continuation of the older Spider-Man animated series, but that's neither here nor there. What gets me excited and or interested currently is that we have a team of animators over at Marvel who have learned how to, I will say it, perfectly rotoscope onto an uncanny level, which it just works. And I'm not sure if maybe AI had a part to play in that, you know, the positive version of like, oh, there's an AI rendering of what might actually pass as you know, this otherworldly Pokemon creature. Let's use that inspiration that the AI produced, and let's take that and make it into what we feel is the most best way to make that feel natural. And generally impressed by the way they've been growing, they've been learning. X-Men 97 was clean and focused, but it did feel a little juddery at times, maybe a little too choppy. And that's nothing against the team. I think that was them, A, getting the funding, and B, getting the groove. And when these guys are here, rotoscoping, 3D animation, making it look freaking fresh, good, action fights on point. Just the character designs and representations are original-ish, but enough to have their own sense of uniqueness. And that's where we get to this, because so far we've been talking about what makes this thing look awesome, right? We have a great team, we have a great animation staff, we have pretty damn good writing. I will say this, the writing on this is on point, and I feel we have showrunners who really want to support this property. Whether it's just because it's another Spider-Man property, or whether it's because the teams have finally found their footing as to what they want to produce and create from here on out, is a question that's above my pay grade. But from what we've been seeing from these shows, kind of really step it up, I think, in the narrative sense. I feel like somebody really lit the fire underneath the Marvel tree last December, and got them really pumping up ideas and really going back to the basis of what makes a hero a hero. And that's why this specific series does a great job, does a beautiful job. It puts us in a brand new Peter Parker's headspace, at a point where he doesn't even have powers, or he doesn't have any inkling of what his life will become. We as a viewer expect so much out of this fucking high schooler, this freshman. But to this kid, all this expectation is put on his shoulders, and he doesn't even know what his alternative identity is gonna be. But it does a great concept of giving you the pure hero, right? The kid who it's the Spider-Man that we know, right, is from the core. We still have him losing his Uncle Ben. We still have him feel that loss of human value. And we have him still have these core ideals and responsibility that he does a good job of trying to maintain. That is the gentleman, Peter Parker, in a nutshell. This show and the showrunners and the writers, I think, had a fun time putting that concept, that purest character, in not in more, let's call it, experimental situations, in a point where you take a character for what he's worth, right? The ideals and the dreams that one stands for, that one fights for, and essentially put them through the ringer of how far will you take it, how fast can you move, how much does this mean to you. And you know, we have interesting parallels and similarities to something like a corporate universe. It makes sense. I won't spoil anything, but in this universe, there are factors that keep Peter on a different path, right? One of the best moments of this series is when Peter is having a type of crisis, right? Everything is happening all at once. A life picks up, and you have to leave a double life, and you have to try to keep that normal in front of the people that you love. And Aunt May just unfortunately recognizes that I can't be what you need me to be. You are a adolescent teenager who is going through changes, who is developing themselves, who is learning new things about themselves every day. And you need a role model. You need a parental male figure to be there, to talk to you, to try to understand you, so you're not out there swinging around by yourself, not knowing what it is that you're doing, or why you do it for, or who you're doing it for. When there's a guy in your ear telling you, do this, 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 because this is the way that we need it to be, who is that really for? So, something great and amazing, and maybe I take it too personally because Uncle Ben died, man. I'm an uncle. But it is the idea of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is just another symbol to look up to. Yes, there is a man inside that costume. We don't know how old he is. We don't know what his night job is. We don't know what he does on the weekends for fun, except for fight crime and save people. But when people see the red and blue akin to Captain America, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was red and blue because of Captain America. The more you know. But when you see those colors flying in the sky, swinging by, then you look up and you start to believe there's someone out there in your neighborhood, in your area, looking after your kids, looking after your family, making sure that the little guy has another chance. Why are the Marvel movies not doing so great? Simple. We fought the aliens. We fought the other alien. We fought the robot. We fought Kevin Spacey, man. But no Avenger has looked at the streets of New York, Miami, Los Angeles, and said, hey man, I found your balloon. It's a Spider-Man 2 reference. Hey, here's your cat. Hey, need a ride? Because it's not about the power. It's not about what you can receive from this. It's about what you can give. In a neighborhood that maybe can't help but get on your nerves, and you can't maybe understand why things are the way that they are specifically in your environment. But it takes a brave soul. It takes a strong person. It takes a beautiful mind to go out there, swing in, drop in, be like, hey, what's up? It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And yeah, you know, I'm impressed by what they've done. They've not only established a strong set of characters to support the main character. We all know how much I respect supporting casts to make the main character more fleshed out, or have this fleshed out characters give the main character a stronger sense of responsibility, because you're not just taking care of girlfriend A, you're taking care of girlfriend A and her, what she stands for, and her friends, and everything she's been working for. Because that's true value. And ladies and gentlemen, as I sit here getting ready to go to anime night with the boys, friends, I believe that when superheroes were created, when these icons came out of Steve Ditko's and Stan Lee's pen swipes, I think they knew. I believe they understood. And in a universe where Hollywood has really taken their fucking sweet ass time taking turns with Spider-Man and what he stands for. I'm looking at you, fucking Sony. Shitty ass fucking. What was it? A Craven movie. Then you gotta appreciate, man. You gotta love it when I finally feel, well, Spectacular Spider-Man did a great job. If you know, you know. But I feel like in this generation, in this brand new wide world of emotions, representation, and identities, I do feel Spider-Man has finally been represented perfectly. And at the end of the day, I can only hope that Stan Lee and Ditko are just smiling and are just able to understand that their dream and their vision, despite being corrupted and absorbed and controlled by greed, media, and the need for more numbers, at the end of the day, we still got there. We still got the values shown, and we still got the message across, Chief. So, if you haven't, please do. I know the 3D art animation, you're gonna see that and you're gonna be like, oh, I remember Berserk, oh. But look at it. That shit's fucking beautiful. And apparently there's a season 2. They've done so much, I can't even talk about it without going full nerdy, but they've done a lot to add good plot points into season 2. So I'm freaking excited. Very excited. And I hope after watching it that you will be as well. But hey, until then, it's been your boy with another beautiful update. Spider-Man, y'all. He's got the stuff. Who would have known? Definitely not Marvel. They did not want a bug superhero. But Stanley and the homeboy committed. And now, the rest is history. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. But until then, hasta la próxima.